All right, we're here with Kenley Jansen, who is home. And the first question obviously has to be, like, when did you first notice the Kenley Boys, and when did it pique your curiosity to be like, what's the deal with the Kenley Boys?
Yeah, to me, it was see some fans start to put it on, Kenley's Boys, Kenley's up. It's like, what are they talking about? I'm like, all right, I got to get into this. Then I post another one and get another save, and it's like, oh, Kenley's Boys up. It's like, I'm looking and and then I ask my wife, I'm like, what is this about? Like, then we start looking more into it, and then we realize now, here I am at the show now. That's where I'm so,
yeah. We're gonna put out some merch at some point. I mean, the slogan is Kenley Boys up, never down. Never down. Even after a bad game, the Kenley Boys are up and we are never down. It was actually coined by Cora right here, who has been your biggest supporter from day one.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, how has it been kind of year 1 to year 2 in Boston, just as a guy who's only been here 2 years? Has it felt different this year?
It's fun, man. I'm going to tell you, like, play around the Boston fans is the best, man. These fans get it. Like I said, they are very sports town fan. And the one thing that I like is, like, if you're a Red Sox fans, you're a Bruins fans, you're a Patriots fans, you're a Celtic fans. So, it's all connected. And that's what I like about this town. And like I said, they just get it. They get that, sometimes game can be hard. Like a game like the last one against the Yankees, I pitched down to one strike, and that ball could be fly out in any ballpark, and sucks that they tie the game and we end up losing that game. But like I said, the Boston fans get it, and that's what I like about it, and they deserve winning here, man. This city deserves the best. It's a winning town.
I don't know if you can see this, Kenley, but last night there was a fan at the game that had a Kenley Boys sign, and it's a picture. They drew a picture of you pointing up, and it says Kenley Boys underneath it. Did you get to see that?
No, I didn't get to see it, man. Like I said, when I walked out of the bottom of the sixth, going, it's all locked in, and try for me to just get this job done, and sometimes it's hard for me to just peek, because I just locked in and follow the game. It's for me to come out there and do what I do best.
Love that.
So this is the third time you've played the Yankees this season. This series, at least watching, and the guys were at one of the games, it felt like one of the more important Red Sox-Yankees series in years. How did that stack up atmosphere-wise for you?
Atmosphere was great, man. It was great. Like I said, it sucks that, that ball just landed a little bit that, out of the reach of, Tyler. But it just sucks, man, because I feel like we should have won this series. And but all by all, the atmosphere is unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. And I hope it just keep this way, knowing that we're facing Seattle today. It's another team that we're battling wild card with. So I think down the road it's going to be fun. And that's what I came here for. I came here for win, and I came here for, I remember me being against them in 2018, and I watched this city, how crazy it was in the World Series for those 2 games. And like I said, man, it's just an unbelievable town.
You bring up 18.
Oh, go for it, McMahon.
Well, I was going to say, you bring up 18 famously, and you're out in the bullpen, so you would know. Famously, the Dodgers bullpen coach said, bullpen's too close to the crowd. Do you feel that way, or do you like it now that you're on this?
It was too close, man. And I'm telling you, man, it was nuts, man. I mean, like I said, man. And the one thing I like about it, too, playing, against the Red Sox that time, the fans are not, I don't feel like they're disrespectful. So they're, compared to like other cities that I go that I know, they could be like, it could be even worse. But like I say, these fans get it, and they're cheering for the team, and that's all it is about. And yes, of course, I feel too close to the crowds.
Glad to get that confirmation there. Real quick on Saturday, you obviously see that ball off the bat. It has an expected batting average of like 0.90. As a pitcher, now for your second season at Fenway Park, how hard is it when you see like, oh no, the monster's probably gonna mess this up?
On that one, I thought the game was over. I thought that you could have hear it off the bat, and you could have see like normally all my experience that I have when I see it go up, I'm like, okay, the game's over. But then when I see Jaron and Tyler keep going back a little bit, it's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And surprisingly, it went a little bit farther. So, but like you say, it's to your advantage and it's to your disadvantage, and it's one of the most unique ballpark, and I love pitching here. But sometimes you gotta take that too, that sometimes it doesn't go your way because it will play against you. And at that point, yes, it will suck that you may play to our disadvantage.
You mentioned, we had the conversation about like how close the fans are when you're in the bullpen. So speaking of people kind of being all up in your business, how's it been with Netflix being around the team since spring training?
For me, they're out, man. For me, like, it's a great thing, but for me, like, going to the bullpen, I told them that's respectful that, bullpen is a different animal. It's like I said, we have the unique and also the worst job, and I feel like in baseball sometimes because the situation can get messed up, and I think there's no room for them to come out there, while us 8 or 7 in the bullpen try to save the game, because at the end of the day, it's not only me saving the game. It's how can we do it together? Or when we play from behind, we have to keep holding the game, to a certain runs for our team offense to bust back and come and win the game from behind. So it's such not a great job. It's you don't know when you're going to go in, and right. I think it's no room for Netflix to be in the bullpen while I'm down there, respectfully.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
I like it, them being in the clubhouse, the whole game preparations, like how we prepare for the ball game and all that. And I think it's great for fans. Fans will deserve watching that, at least how we prepare off the field and stuff like that. So yes, but I think it's no room for a bullpen for them to be down there. It's an actual distraction that I don't need on my plate, So it's already a tough job that we have to do, and when we don't do it well, we got to be accountable of it. So we just can't have that in the bullpen.
Makes sense. Can you take us behind the scenes of what the reaction was in the clubhouse when you guys learned that Alex Cora was going to remain in Boston? Like, was that something where, because the Red Sox put out a lot of really cool behind the scenes footage when you got the 400 save. I don't think we saw anything behind the scenes when Alex Cora got his extension. Was there any type of like team celebration or acknowledgement of that for him?
I wasn't there. Actually, when that happened,
that was in Colorado.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
you're right.
I was excited when I saw that news. I was on my couch and watching TV, and I'm like, man, this is good for Boston. I don't think it's any other person better who can manage the Red Sox than Alex and then AC. So, like I say, one of the best managers that I ever played for. The way how he managed and the way how he controlled these young guys and develop them into be superstars is unbelievable. So, well deserved to him and his family. And like I say, I want to win ball games for him also too. So, if I feel that way, I'm sure all the other guys feel the same way too.
Love that.
You're obviously one of the best closers of all time. Every time you're in there, they show the graphic of the all-time saves leaders. You and Kimbrel flip-flop like every other day. Are you aware of that? And how much are you like, dude, like, let me just take 4th place. Like, you can just be behind me. Like, we know, like, I think you're, all-time probably better than Kimbrel. But, like, that ranking stuff, how much do you pay attention to that? You're 60 saves away from 500. Is that kind of a target, or how do you view it?
It's a blessing. It's a blessing for me to narrow my focus even more. Because, in my career, I had most of my ups, but the last downs that you have, you get criticized and get killed sometimes.
Well, never down. Kenley Boys never down.
Kenley never down. So that's why I'm glad that you guys. I'm glad that you guys came with that, with that name, because that's a motivation for me. Because I thought that people might believe, oh, he's done, he's this, but me putting some work in off seasons and show that I'm still doing it in a high level, and that's what I wanted to continue to do. And my priority is to win a championship, and all those will be extra. So for sure. So if you're focusing on winning championship, then you will see a 500 save down the road, because that's all I'm focused on. I'm not focusing on how can I, do my records. That's never a thing. It's just how can I help our team get to the postseason. It shows all those other numbers. So it's a motivation. It narrowed my focus even more, and I'm telling you, it's going to motivate me even more this offseason to keep working hard. And who knows where I'm at next year, but I'm going to enjoy this year, and we'll see what the future may take.
You talk about putting work in an off season and people starting to doubt you as you get older. I think you surprise a lot of people sometimes when you rear back and you can hit 95, 96. Is that intentional? Like, you're so mature in your career. Are you manipulating pitch speeds, or are you emptying the tank on different days? Talk about like how you're using velocity and a little bit of spin, since you're throwing that cutter so heavily.
You know what's funny is how, my whole career, if you pay attention, like I was like that. Like I was, sometimes I might hit you with 91, 92. Sometimes I would come 94, 95. Some days I might hit you 97, 99. Like I did with my 400 saves. So it's just a thing that I probably don't understand also too, but I can also work on my body. And what I be realizing that me doing more stretching and working my physicals, the cores, and adjusting my works, and I'm still hitting 95, 96. So to me, I'm just want to tell everybody that age is just a number. If that cutter cuts, you see Mariano Rivera did it for so long, and he walked away. It's not like that he retired. He could have pitched till when he's 50s, I believe, and get like 1,000 saves. But but I think if that's the most thing that I have to worry about is how my characteristic or my cutter will keep developed, and stay on top of that. Make sure that I'm getting my vert numbers and horizontal numbers, and keep putting some good work in, because honestly, my body, I know how my body feels. And I think the thing is, people that don't understand also too, I started to pitch when I was 21. So I never pitched before. So I didn't get abused in high school or any of those. So I pitched 40 innings in minor leagues, and then I learned how to pitch in big leagues. So that's what it is. And I think I'm still fresh. My arm is still fresh. And I'm just going to keep working hard, and wanted to play this game. It's just a love for the game. I want to play for at least 4 or 5 more years. So let's see what God brings here for my family. And, I'm looking forward to be in this league for another 5 years.
Yeah, that's a great point that I never considered about, like, just you don't have nearly the amount of mileage on your elbow and your shoulder as guys, especially today when it's like, you've got these kids going out there doing all these like showcases, and they're pitching in College World Series, and they're throwing 156 pitches in these championship games. Like, you just didn't have that, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But from like a perspective standpoint, like, you've pitched for one of the biggest big market teams on the East Coast and the biggest big market team on the West Coast. What do you think are like the biggest differences to you?
The biggest difference, I think, with all respect, I think Dodger fans are unbelievable fans. They travel everywhere. The Dodger Pantone, you can see it. Like, I saw it. To me, even that I'm with the Red Sox, I think it was a goosebumps to see them dominate when they was at New York playing the Yankees, and you can see the whole city with Dodger Pantone. So that's unbelievable. But also too that I think with the Boston fans, it's like more, if you're a Red Sox fans, like you're a Celtic fan, you're a Bruins fan, you're a Patriot. It's just such a sports town that LA, you have more options. I feel like some fans is Dodger fans, but they're a Laker fan, or they might not be a Laker fan, or they might be a Clipper fan. It's such a variety, or they, so. And plus, it's whole lot more other stuff to do out there, also in LA. And it's such a celebrity, like the Hollywood. It brings.
Oh, you had Matt Damon at the game the other day. It's not good enough.
It brings different vibe. Like playing in LA, bring that vibe. That like you see, like so many celebrities gonna pop up at the game, and I like that. But here is more. It's well connected in such a sport town, like small town, it's more sport town, and they get it, and Dodger fans the same thing too. But I'm glad that I play for both fans. I mean, it's unbelievable fans, and man, right away to script my career to play with. I can say today I play with Boston Red Sox and the Dodgers, so
yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah. You've got little kids in the Boston area repping the Kenley Boys.
Oh, never down.
You got little kids saying "Kenley Boys up, never down." It's a cultural phenomenon that's going on right now.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. Like I say, it just motivates you. It motivates you, and today is not a day. You got to go get this win, and I want to see this team in the playoffs.
How? The David Ortiz was walking around with the Larry O'Brien Trophy a lot in early June. The Celtics ultimately dog walked everyone in their path to that championship. How does that mean anything to the Red Sox? Like, is there any external motivation seeing another team in the city, seeing how much the city popped for that title? Did that do anything, or was it just like, that's basketball, we don't care that much?
I hope for the young guys, because I've been there before. I've been through
sure.
I win one, and I played 10 years straight in the playoffs. So if I go back and remember when we didn't start going to playoffs yet with the Dodgers, and you see the LA Kings walking in there with a trophy, to me it's a goosebumps. It's like, for me at that moment it was like, I need to be there too. Like, we need to do something to be this. This is unbelievable. Like how the city lifts you up and you're just the king. And I hope for these young guys when they see the Celtics, when they won it, let that be a motivation. And like when the camera, when the Celtics went on the Jumbotron during the game, and you see how the Boston fans go crazy, to me it's just a fuel in your tank, and learn that we need to get that way too, and believe in ourselves that we can do that too. Like it don't matter that the Yankees have a strong team or any of those teams like Philly, Dodgers. No, we could be there too. It's a 27 outs. It showed us on Saturday that it was 27 outs. Like they can go both ways. And for us to learn, and these young guys, they dangerous. They dangerous, and leading with Jared Durant, being the leadoff hitter, and every time he just goes hard to first base. He plays hard. He plays defense hard. You see Rafaela play defense hard. And, from anyone else, for us, just let that be a motivation. And how can we put and collect 27 outs and take our chances? At the end of the day, it's still a baseball game, and it doesn't matter how strong your roster is. I was there with LA for 12 years, and we only win it once. So that tells you that it's hard to win a championship. And if we in the game, to me, we still have a chance. It don't matter who we facing. That's how we have to see it.
Kenley, this is kind of a random question, but I've always been curious. With your jersey, it always seems to you always adjust the jersey during the outing. Like, when did that start? And is it just getting stuck on your undershirt, or what's going on there?
Yeah, it's my whole career. Everybody asked me, I remember with the Dodgers too, everybody was asking me, like, are you popping your collar like when you strike out someone? It's just, no, it's basically my undershirts and my jersey. When I throw it, fall through, it just come forward and I'm kind of like push it back. And it seems like I'm popping my collar, but I mean, it's great. I mean, I don't realize it. Sometimes I don't even know till when you guys tell me, like, oh, shoot, I'm still doing it. So, yeah, it's just might be a habit, I guess.
I like it.
Last one for me, Kenley. It was a tough series for Red Sox fans over the weekend, but I feel like you guys have kind of bonded together this season. It's kind of been like a us against the world type mentality.
Yeah.
What message do you have for Red Sox fans that are feeling down today? Because we did our podcast last night. I feel like we weren't really that down, we were kind of like, that sucked, but we're only a game out. Like it's not the end of the world. What message would you have for Red Sox fans that are feeling a little down today?
Well, don't feel down because we're still up on the Yankees. You know,
and we're just up in general. The Kenley Boys are just always up.
Yeah, we got more wins this year against them, so don't feel off by that. That's one. And like you say, we're never down. We're up, and I think there's still 2 more months to play. Yes, of course, every game counts now. And it's for us in the clubhouse to also, you know, gather ourselves and don't put too much emphasis in it. Like we got swept against the Dodgers. We lost the 2 series here. No, it's a brand new ball game today. And the way how we play, you know, we know how we have to play. And I've been to this many times that adversity comes and you have to deal with it. And it's a time for us to deal with it. And that's what's going to make us stronger. And if we pass through it, I think it's going to be very scary because we do have a great team.
I love that. Kenley, thank you so much for taking the time. We very much appreciate it. The Kenley Boys are always up. We're never down. We're going to be rooting for you the rest of the way. And thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.